Hello, it's Brenda. I have not been on in so long. I told you in the last video that we just bought a house and I had no idea how time consuming that was going to be. So this is my passion. I am so enthusiastic to try to get on track and to be making videos on a better schedule or any schedule. So a couple of things. One, it's almost Christmas, so I wanted lights to be festive. Instead, it looks like I'm getting beamed up into outer space, so I don't know. I'll have to work on that. A couple of you had let me know that you were kind of digging my content, but that the voice or the sound was kind of sucky. So I did invest in this microphone, but I don't know. Does this go in the back? Does this go in the front? Is it even on? I don't know. So just let me know if the sound is any better. And then the next thing will be to start working on the lighting, because that seems to be a thing too. So being that it's almost Christmas, I wanted to talk about a toy. Seems fitting, right? Particularly this toy. If you are my age, which we're not going to go there, you might know this as Raggedy Ann. And actually, Raggedy Ann is now like 100 years old or something. That's crazy. I'm not 100 years old. I didn't have the first Raggedy Ann. This is probably a knockoff. Just even like now, way back then, I'm sure when toys became very famous or very popular, they probably had a million knockoffs. It could be a real one, but I couldn't find anything on her that actually said Raggedy Ann. Now, when I was a kid, I did have Raggedy Ann, and I remember her dress being different, and I think her hair was like really vibrant red, so I'm guessing she's not authentic. But she is very interesting because one of the most famous cases of possession stems from a very simple little rag doll like this. My nails, my God, I'm not even a person, I don't know. So I found this doll, this version of Raggedy Ann, if you will, in an antique shop recently, and I had to have her. One, because she kind of brought back some childhood memories, but two, because of the whole Annabelle story. Now, Raggedy Ann is, like I said, pretty much like this as far as I can remember her, but maybe her hair a little bit redder. But I found all of the, actually, this face looks a little bit more like the real Raggedy Ann, but she was bigger, like this size. But look at all these different kind of versions of her that I found in this antique shop, and I had to have them. I mean, I don't know if they're all like haunted or not, but they're in my house now, so I'll let you know. As a matter of fact, Raggedy Ann used to have a counterpart. You could buy Raggedy Andy, which I also had as a kid, and that was like the boy version of it. So in 1970, there was a woman who was 28 years old, and on her birthday, she received a Raggedy Ann doll. Unlike the movies where Annabelle is a very porcelain doll, really creepy looking, really big, this would be what the actual Annabelle would have looked like, maybe a little bit bigger, but this is what Annabelle would have looked like. I find it kind of weird that she got a doll for her 28th birthday, but her mom gave her one. Maybe she was a doll collector, I don't know, or maybe her mom had one. I don't know. But she got a Raggedy Ann doll for her 28th birthday. She lived with a roommate. She took the doll home. She perched it in her room, and that was that. And then her and her roommate started having some really weird occurrences in their apartment. I'm talking like it started out with the doll's legs would be crossed, which, by the way, it is a rag doll, so that would seem kind of difficult even for me to place them in a crossed position. They would just kind of fall apart. But they would find her with her legs crossed. They would find her maybe in a different position than where she was sure that she left her, and this wasn't like a house with kids or anything. It was just her and her roommate, so there would be no reason for the doll to be moved to a different location. And then it got really strange, according to this woman. She claimed that she came home, her and her roommate came home, and on parchment paper, you know, parchment paper, like that, that like that paper, like if you were making cookies or something so that they don't stick. She would find parchment paper, which she claimed they did not have in the house, and it would have notes written on it like "help me" or "help us." Now, I don't know about you, but I probably wouldn't have initially thought that the doll was writing these things. I would think like somebody was playing a trick on me, but I guess like maybe nobody else had access to her apartment. Um, there was a point where they did believe somebody was breaking into their house, but they ruled it out, and I'm not sure how exactly that they ruled that out, but they ruled that out and then claimed that they had a male friend over who was sleeping on the couch and claimed that he was strangled by the doll. So at any rate, they decided to call in a medium. And when the medium came in, she did her medium thing and let them know that the doll had become inhabited by the spirit of a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins, who had died at 7 years old on that property. So the doll, in other words, was not haunted before the roommate got her, but that once the doll came into the home, this spirit took that opportunity to inhabit the doll, and this was the person, the child that was being mischievous and playing all of these tricks on them through the doll. Although I wouldn't think that like trying to strangle your roommate would be a mischievous trick, but whatever. So as things got progressively worse, like they actually got rid of the doll and the doll reappeared in their house, continued to leave notes, like ran rampant through the house, would just be in all different places in the house when they got home. They thought that the best way to go was to just let the doll know that it had their permission to live there, live in the doll, do its own thing, just not hurt them or bother them in any malicious ways. But that actually made the haunting intensify. So then they got in touch with the Warrens. Now, if you know the Warrens, they are always talked about on my channel. They are probably, I would say, the most famous demonologists that I know of, at the very least. And they've been involved in all of the major stories that have gone on to be major motion pictures. You know, The Conjuring, Amityville, A Haunting in Connecticut. What was that one in Georgia? Well, they made The Conjuring 2 out of that story. So they actually have a museum. Well, their son and daughter-in-law now run the museum because both of them have since passed away. Recently, actually, Lorraine actually only passed away, I think, last year. So they came in and they were like, no, like this doll has got to go. This is not some sweet little 7-year-old who just wants to, you know, inhabit the doll so that it can live in your home and play games. This is actually a very malevolent, dark, never been human demon force is in this doll, and that its actual goal is to take over your body, not the body of little Raggedy Ann. So it was decided that Lorraine and her husband would take the doll to their museum where it could be kept for safety, and that it wouldn't be able to do this or get out of the doll or do anything else. And they actually said on the way home they actually had to keep like throwing holy water at it because it was like going crazy because it knew its time was almost up, I guess. I don't know. Well, they took it to their museum, and to this day Annabelle is encased in a big glass case so that this spirit can never get out of it. And you can go and you can tour their museum. It's actually, I think it's right on their house property now, like I said, run by their son. And it is said that people that go in there and taunt the doll just for fun sometimes have really horrible things happen to them. Like there was one person who went in and just like taunted the doll just to kind of be a jerk, and they had like a horrendous motorcycle accident on the way home from the museum. And that is supposedly not that uncommon, that really wicked things befall the people that go in there and just think it's funny to tease Annabelle or in any way disrupt her. So that's that. I would love to go and see the Annabelle doll, and I don't know why I never did, because I'm from Massachusetts. I'm not living there now. I'm living in Florida, but I lived there my whole life, and I still go back there and visit, and the doll is right in Connecticut, so I don't know why I've never actually gone there. But and I'm not sure, but I think somebody told me that usually you have to make reservations because it's pretty backed up, people wanting to go there. I don't know, I can't confirm that, but one of these days I've got to go there. And then I've got to make a trip to the Robert doll in Key West. We'll talk about that on another video. So that's it. These are my new friends. They will be living here in my house, so I don't know. I guess there's no reason for them to be haunted except that they're very old, and I just think that it would be fun to have them and to see what ends up happening or not happening. So I will let you know. And that, my friends, is the true story of Annabelle. This is somewhat what she would have looked like, innocent enough, right? Not according to the story. So let me know what you think about the Annabelle story, and let me know if you ever had a Raggedy Ann or a Raggedy Andy, because this definitely brings back some childhood memories. I'm going to work on the lighting. Let me know if the sound was any better. I don't even know if it's on. Like, I plugged it in and the computer said the device is working, but I didn't even look to see if there was